Welcome to the latest Coffee with Chaplain on August the 5th. Our title today is The Best of Things in the Worst of Times. You and I are living in the midst of what may turn out to be one of the most difficult times of our lives. We are on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. Each of us is doing our part to stay safe and to protect our family, our friends, and our neighbors. And a reminder, we are wearing our masks, the 3 W's, wearing our masks, washing our hands, and watching the distance we maintain from one another. When we do that, that seems to make a big difference. The reality is some of us are coping well, some of us are struggling. And like many of our team members, I'm doing my best even when I feel tired or discouraged. So be supportive one of another. This has already gone on for a long time, and I'm looking forward to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'd like to share a story with you today of Sir Robert Shirley. He lived in England during one of its darkest chapters over 400 years ago. The England nation was torn apart by civil war that began in the year 1642. King Charles I was removed from the crown and was executed. People fought and killed each other over who should rule the various nations of England, Scotland, and Ireland. In addition, Protestants and Catholics were pitted against each other, and church buildings were looted and destroyed. So why was Robert Shirley foolish enough to build a new chapel building when people around him were dying and houses of worship were being torn down? Well, it was a testament to his faith. Robert Shirley did not know whether his work would survive the conflict that was raging around him. In fact, when Oliver Cromwell, who became the Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England, took charge after the king was executed, when Cromwell heard about Shirley's plans to build a chapel building, he made financial demands of Shirley, which Shirley resisted and eventually imprisoned him in the infamous Tower of London. Robert Shirley never made it out of the Tower of London. He died there when he was only 27 years old. But the chapel building he began was already under construction. He left detailed instructions for his wife about finishing the interior. His heirs finished the work he had begun. It took 2 years from start to finish for this Gothic-style chapel to be completed. It was named the Chapel of the Holy Trinity, and it stands even today. The chapel has barely been altered since it was completed. You can view the photos and see what a marvelous building it was. Robert Shirley left a testament to his faith. If you travel to England and visited the chapel today, you can read an inscription above the west entrance. Now, the text is ancient. I've made a few adjustments for our ears today, but here is the inscription that you would see at the chapel. Quote, "In the year 1653, when throughout the nation all things that were sacred were demolished or profaned, Sir Robert Shirley founded this church. His purpose was to do the best of things in the worst of times, to bring hope in the midst of calamity, so that what is right will be remembered forever." Did you get that? To do the best of things in the worst of times, to bring hope in the midst of calamity. Well, that's what we are doing today. Residents of Village on the Green, friends and neighbors, security guards, drivers, administrators, those who prepare and deliver meals, those who maintain our buildings and services. We are all a team together. We are each doing our part. We are and we will continue to do the best of things in the worst of times. We are not alone. God bless you.